Money sign gang, shake well, get him in the leg lock, yeah. If I ran from a bitch, if I ran from an op, cause I get him in the headlock, yeah. Pull up in the drop top, yeah. Put it on the rocks, dance with red rum, young boy, pull up in the drop top, yeah. Do what I gotta do to stay alert. I had to clean the flushing on the purse. I had to roll it, smoking on the purse. I had to cough and sipping on the purse. I had to cough and pour another syrup. I had to put him in the dirt. I had to catch and kill him with a verse. I had to snatch him, steal him like a purse. I gotta skate up, gun him Uzi vert. Shit, I gotta burn him, leave him fucking lit. They finna sentence me just a jit. I'm finna pull up to the judge's whip. I'll pick the hood up, finna take a shit. Yeah. I got this shit unlocked. I got to eat it, they pop. No, I don't pop. I got the Russian crease, smoke at the drop. I'm on the map, and you is not. I got some fans, and bitch, you is off. I'm second bands on the way to the top, bitch. Yeah. I'm second bands on the way to the top.
Straight out the mud, needing no drugs. Mommy be slurring from shit in the cup, full of disgust, fear in my guts. Daddy done told me the shit in your blood, and he told me it's all in your coding, straight out of your mama insisted, and they don't go Bobby, my son. I feel conflicted, I look to religion, but never found answers, decided to run. We live in a world on two different axles, full of emotion, we just cannot handle. I'm not my parents, I'm just my own man, so I have observed the pain from the bottle. I recognize all the lies that is swallowed. I'm gonna curb my own lane with the LODT, couple kids going harder for throttle.
Get what I want when I cop it. We dropping and popping, they talking, I get it.
Oh my god.
That is new.
For the mountain, just get off your ass and just brush up the dirt. Yeah, I just be laughing at all of the acting and all of these bitches they hurt. Yeah, all of these actors they cut. Yeah, I be directing the scene. Yeah, put them on TV. Good morning America, ain't cause a line on screen. Hey, choose what you wanna believe. You gon' do you and I'm gon' do me. But hold on, life be colder, the icing on top of a snow cone. Life be closing a wife, he's the ice and no two-tone just flooded like Frozone. These bitches annoying, be talking about problems like I don't even be caring about it. And all that she say it be cap, so fuck what you think and just give me a headshotty. Yeah, just give me a headshotty. Money sign gang.
Yeah, I wonder what Bushi no ninjutsu.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
He sounds like it's early wherever you are.
Well, it's an hour earlier than usual, but I ended up, I had 3 whole weeks to do the recap, but I was just, too busy.
Oh, no.
So I just waited until yesterday. I didn't get a lot of sleep.
That's appreciated because I don't think we remember what the hell has happened. What's that?
Except Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah. Only at the holidays. Which I guess this counts as.
Mad Nomad Core.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that?
Oh, my whole screen is all messed up. I gotta redo everything again. Damn it.
I did finally figure out it helps to enlarge the original screen before you load it, and it tends to not mess it up quite as bad.
Yeah.
Where's Dan this morning?
He was on earlier.
All right. Good morning. It's 8:35. It's the 26th of May, and we're gonna play some D&D. We're in session 94. It's a lot of sessions. So Odyssey of the Dragonlords, titled Through the Veil. It's been a couple weeks since we last played. I believe it was the 4th of May, because we had a lot of shit going on. So hopefully our player seller will remember stuff. We'll do a recap, and then as long as our last two guys show up, then we'll jump into it.
All right. Well, it's been 3 weeks actually, and streaming live to you from San Antonio, Texas, the Alamo City. And just a reminder that we have gone to an island. We went back in the hopes of getting into our original timeline, back to where we thought the island of time was, and ended up on a very different island that Arcadia had heard of, called Titan's Folly, that was to be avoided at all costs. So, of course, what did we do? We went on it. But of course, you can't, bring heroes someplace and have them not going somewhere. Anyway, so we ended up Gravik. We couldn't find a way to get in. It was the island was entirely encased in a glass dome, but Gravik figures out that he can cast Dimension Door and gets in, and eventually gets a teleportation circle going, and we all come in. And when we arrive, we see these small insect-like creatures approaching us. And they land. They do not look hostile. Amitrius casts comprehend languages on himself, and they click at us and wave their antenna, but we can't seem to understand each other. Corbin tries playing their sounds back on his bagpipes, and Arcadia tries speaking in every single language that she knows to them, but they do not understand. Amitrius starts playing kind of like a charades kind of game. And two of them fly off, come back with 18 more of the creatures, and they land and hold what appear to be their source of food and drink. And one tosses a wrapped package to Corbin, which was actually a Twitch Point gift from Dan, and it turns out to be a necklace of fireballs. They set the food and drink in front of them and offer us food. We all partake of it. It tastes delicious. And so Arcadia, trying to think of something to give them back, plays her harp for them. Amitrius gives them 50 gold pieces, and one tries to eat it. It doesn't seem like they understand currency. And Amitrius decides to explore a little bit, and goes into one of their houses, which is a very simple, in a kind of an ant in a hill. Nothing fancy. But then Arcadia asks Nico to pray to Thylea. He had tried praying to her because this is supposedly her island, when we were outside of the glass dome, and he did not receive any response. But now that we're inside, she suggests that he pray to her again. So he sits cross-legged in the center of the dome and begins to pray to her, saying her name aloud, asking why the bugs are here and what the place is about. And after he has finished, one of the bugs, again, previously we couldn't understand each other, says in broken common, "Creator." And we find out that they are the Miramics. They were imprisoned on the island as a punishment for insulting a powerful god many thousands of years ago. And what happened, we discover, is that Lutheria tricked them through presents into trying to kill Thylea, the great tree. And as a response, Kentamane, Thylea's consort, trapped them all on the island. They ask how we got there, and Amitrius explains that we teleported, and they don't seem to understand what magic is. So Nico uses Druidcraft to wave his hand over the grass and makes the flowers bloom, and they all gasp in awe. And we find out that they live in harmony, and the queen is their leader, and everything else is fine. She is deep within the hive. And then we realize that we have heard the word Miramic before, and Gravik was getting letters in his white book. They were appearing, and created a puzzle, and it ended up spelling Miramic. And when we spoke to the alternate Volcon, the Volcon of this world, he said if we ever saw these things, and they look like little praying mantises, to run away, and that they are locked up and shouldn't be let out. We decide that we want to talk to the queen. The only person who can fit is Corbin. So Corbin goes down into to see the queen. Arcadia gives him a sending stone so they can be in touch if necessary. And the issue that we have, it's the alternate Vulcan told us that if we ever see one of those fuckers to run, and it's a creature that's been locked up and should never be set free. But we're not sure that Vulcan is good. So we don't really know if these creatures are good or bad because we don't know if we can trust the alternate Vulcan. So while Arcadia explains that to Gravik, Nico, well, she explains that to the entire party. And the Miramax seem to think Arcadia is the queen, and they don't seem to understand any kind of, they're a matriarchal society. And what happens is while Corbin is on his way down to the queen, they ask Gravik how we came over, and he explains we came over in a ship and explains basic shipbuilding to them, and shows them what nails are, and what planks are. One asks him to show magic, but then Amitrius interrupts and activates his form of dread and turns his hair on fire and begins telling them about the great divine stallion and how he grants his followers enormous power in exchange for loyalty and begins indoctrinating them into his religion. Then Nico takes out the qual feather and plants it, and a tree pops out in the middle of the stones, and they are exclaim magic, and he puts his hand on the tree, it zips back into a feather. Gravik grumbles a little after hearing Amitrius talk about his god, so he casts a major image of Bahamut. And Amitrius takes offense at that, saying that Gravik is teaching them about his false religion and begins attacking the image, and they start bickering about whose god is better. Some of the creatures look at Nyx and ask Arcadia what she is and how she was made. Arcadia just explains she is her companion and she is made out of metal, but a different kind of metal than the one Amitrius gave them. Gravik now is having the major image of Bahamut move around, showing all of its glory, and the Miramax look very frightened at first, but then once they see that nothing really happens, they really start watching Gravik and the image more intensely. So then he starts telling anyone who will listen about Bahamut. And Amitrius forms a faction against him and tells them about the stallion and that he's the better god. Meanwhile, Corbin has gone through a bunch of tunnels, and at about 15 to 20 minutes, he ends up in a big chamber where he meets the queen. And he asks her if anything about this island, because it used to be the island of time. But she shrugs and says they've been on this island for 5,000 years and that nothing has changed and that no one comes and no one goes. And when he tells her that we recently defeated Lutheria, she calls us mighty heroes. And he says we might be able to help them leave the island. And she says she would like to explore more and ask what he would want in return. But eventually they find out that they might have a seal of Chalcia. So in exchange for the seal, she wants him to bring one of her people, actually two of her people, but Corbin makes a deal, speaking on behalf of the party, that we will take one person, and if they behave, we might come back and get another one. But they agree that they would not be a prisoner, but they would have to obey the captain and his rules. And that we also find out that there are no males and females, that each of these creatures are both male and female. So he starts to return back up to the surface, and meanwhile, a creature goes up to Arcadia and asks if these men of her culture are always this aggressive, like referring to the holy war that is beginning between Amitrius and Gravik. And she says they are not of my culture, but yes, they are aggressive. This is why we have wars. And the creature says, all males are aggressive. I see. But before she can respond, Gravik says, take it back, Amitrius, and they continue fighting. Nico, meanwhile, is sitting there laughing, and a creature offers him wine, and he holds out his drinking horn, and they give him a cask. So Gravik and Amitrius continues to argue. Gravik disparages the stallion for creating centaurs, causing a question if 2 legs is enough, so Amitrius dashes around the crowd using his horseshoe of speed, demonstrating the advantage of 4 legs, which causes the Miramax to start chanting, use the magic, use the magic. So Gravik raises his staff up and casts lightning bolt up into the sky, and it hits the dome and spreads out. And the crowd cheers, and then Gravik tells the crowd Bahamut gave him this power. But Demetrius responds by stabbing himself in the shoulder. Then he heals himself with lay on hands, and they stare at him in awe, then look back at Gravik to see what he will do next. Then Gravik casts control winds. And then some are in awe, but some are not, and they look at Demetrius. Then Demetrius gets 4 people out of the crowd and casts bless on them, and they stand up very bright and tall and say that the divine stallion has bestowed this gift upon them, which Demetrius said, yes, you have become extremely powerful. They ask if he can teach them, but he says it's a bit difficult because the power comes from within him. But then Gravik responds by throwing a fireball up into the air and explodes it, and the crowd is in absolute awe, and they say Bahamut. And he says, yes, Bahamut, the great platinum dragon. And they start chanting Bahamut's name and look back at Demetrius, who shrugs because he's out of tricks. Then one of the creatures asks Arcadia who is the god that she serves. Is it the mighty Bahamut or the mighty divine stallion? And she says she does not, even though they are just as mighty, but does not share her religion. And they ask Nico, and he tells them Thylia. So on the way out, Corbin has been trying to explain to the creatures how to fight, only he's intentionally trying to deceive them into becoming really, really bad fighters, because in his conversation with the queen, he discovered that Chalcia, the goddess of swiftness, the one we're trying to get all of the seals for, she created them. And she created them to learn, and with the goal that they would build, and they can pretty much build anything once they have the knowledge. And so going back to switching up, excuse me. So we talk about what we want to do if we want to let this creature go with us. And Corbin really wants to get the seal in exchange for taking the creature with us, but Arcadia argues that she thinks freeing Chalcia is a lesser goal. We still need to save the world, and she's worried that they can reproduce by themselves. But at the end of the day, it is Gravik and Arcadia against bringing the creature, and it is Corbin because he wants the seal. Demetrius goes along with him, and then Nico eventually goes along with them. So we decide to bring the creature. And Demetrius keeps on thinking that, excuse me, train going by. Demetrius is thinking that this is an evil timeline, so he doesn't really care about unleashing the creatures on it, although Arcadia points out that might involve killing the alternate sun. Sorry, more train. But we decide to leave and go through a long process of trying to hide how we leave from the creatures, thinking that they can learn anything. So we at least blindfold one of the creatures, who happens to be of the Bahamut, wanting the Bahamut Bahamut fan. So about 20 minutes later, 120 creatures come out, and a couple of them have a round clay circle on a pedestal, and they say it is the seal. Gravik casts detect magic on it, but doesn't see any magic. But then we check the white rook piece that is supposedly another piece of the seal, and it doesn't come up as magic. So we wonder if perhaps the magic only happens when the seals are brought together, or if some condition is met. So we blindfold the creature, bring it back to the Ultros, and at first, Demetrius wants to throw it in the brig, but Corbin reminds him that the promise he made to the queen was a promise on behalf of all of us to not make him a prisoner. So Arcadia and Verena bring it to the cabin where we cast the zone of truth on the entire crew, because we were going to cast the zone of truth there. Corbin asks V what Nico's wife was up to when we were away. Apparently she just pounded in her room, and V heard some shit being thrown around. He instructs her to continue her watch and tells her about the Miramac. Then we ask the creature what mission the queen has given him, because they refer to them as we. And it says to learn. And it doesn't seem like that it can procreate by itself. It says it will not harm itself or its fellow creatures, but will not say, eventually says, if we don't harm it, it will not harm us. So it asks how the zone works, and Corbin, the zone of truth works. Corbin misunderstands it and says it's magic known only to Kentamane. And then it responds, if it's the magic only known to the deceiver. And then we find out that he was really referring to the zone of truth. But we find out that Kentamane is known as the deceiver. And Arcadia keeps on asking it why it's called the deceiver, but it will not say. So Amitrius just basically, it was told that it had to follow the rules of the ship. And Amitrius just says, well, just ask the crew what the rules are. And he's like, oh, so I can do anything. And he says, just ask the crew. And Arcadia says, no, you can't give vague instructions like that. So she tells it has to stay on the ship, not harm any of the inhabitants of the ship. If it has problems, come to her. And I can't remember the last one. I have it written down. I will find out. So Arcadia explains to Verena what it is, and that, right, to pay attention, to listen to what they say. If it has any problems, come to Arcadia, not to harm anybody on the ship, not to leave the ship. Oh, yes. And also not to do anything to dead bodies, which was a very strange question. It seemed to think of them as food, but she is suspicious that it knows about Kyra, and explains that it comes from a matriarchal society, which is why they seem to think that Arcadia is the queen, and she let them believe it because she thought it might give her some leverage. Amitrius teleports with Gravik at night to set the Antikythera to the constellation of the Bear, and then we set sail to Arisia, and it will take 3 days. And the Mirror-Mech asks what we're doing, and Amitrius orders the crew not to let it on the officer's deck where he resides. So over the next 3 days, Gravik tries to keep an eye on the bug person, but also tries to write his new plays. Corbin continues to do his absolute best to deceive the Mirror-Mech into terrible fighting methods. Arcadia stays in her room and works on meditation and does calisthenics and works out as much as she can in her cabin because she doesn't want to be observed by it. She doesn't want to teach it how to shoot by observation. And then one day, Amitrius feels the egg start to shake, and it starts to hatch. And Arcadia comes out to watch, and they notice that she's watching with almost a very clinical eye. And out pops a baby copper dragon, and it is a female. And Amitrius names it Astrea, which is the name of a heroine from an old tale. It's the goddess of justice and innocence, and also the name of his mother. He tells Astrea that he will begin her training right away, and says Corbin welcomes her to the Dragonlords, and she doesn't know what it is. And Amitrius says, I will teach you all about it. You do not have to listen to Corbin. Your bond is with me. And she starts to fly. Aziz has ideas about what he wants to do with her. And Amitrius spends the next 3 days exclusively with the dragon. He tells her a bit about the world, about what he knows about the Dragonlords, that they were an ancient order, but that their bond is together, and they do not owe the Dragonlords anything. And every late afternoon, he spars with her on the deck, trying to teach her a bit of technique, how to dodge. And he actually hits the one-day-old baby dragon with a wooden weapon, and he smacks her in combat, trying to teach her how to bite and claw. He starts off slowly, getting faster each day, until on the third day, he accidentally hits her, and she spits at him, dealing a great amount of damage, which causes Gravik to look at Aziz and say, I appreciate you. You know that, right? But Amitrius praises Astrea for using her breath. And meanwhile, the bug creature, the Mirror-Mech, is watching all of it. Arcadia is still quite concerned about the bug. And Demetrius is like, just ignore it, just throw it overboard. And Arcadia and Corbin reminds him that this is not the promise. The promise extends to all of us. And at the end, there is a flashback. We flash back again. This is something that the characters don't see at all. But if we flash back to the island, to right after we set the Antikythera and leave at night, there's a group of Miramax sitting, watching our ship, the Ultras, sail away. And 2 of them cast Dimension Door, which is the first spell they saw Gravik cast. We end a session on our 98th day together, with 33 days remaining of the Oath of Peace.
All right.
Another bug hunt.
Another bug hunt.
And I purposely listed every single thing that they did. Like, every single thing that was cast. That was a gift to you, Engorgio.
Thank you. You're so nice. All right. So, we're heading to Arisha, right?
Yeah.
This will be our first time there, right?
It
Yep.
would.
We can go beat up some monks.
This version of Arisha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Might have to go there again for the first time.
We could go beat up some monks now.
Chuck's my buddy.
Chuck the buddy, it's right.
This Chuck doesn't. This Chuck was never burned alive.
Poor Chuck. Up, Chuck. You gotta say, what's up, Chuck? You know, I want to add this, just to keep this thing like it. We're gonna put the bug on the ship. Because bugs are friends, despite what all of you think.
But hold on, it can be on the officer's deck though.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. Okay, so it's sitting here. That's right, because it's watching you in Australia intently.
He's getting on my nerves.
You're like a person who's like, oh, I want something, but I don't want to take care of it. I want it, but you take care of it instead.
Yeah.
I think Arcadia said that or told me back.
No, Arcadia said that to you in private, but what she would say to Demetrius, but more than that, but she's just kind of stealing.
Well, it's not Demetrius' responsibility to deal with this insect thing.
She walks up
He's
to you
already
and
offered
she
to
says,
throw it overboard.
she said it is absolutely your responsibility. Now you got her going. If you're going to say that, she said you are worse than a person who wants a puppy and then passes it off to the parents, because then you don't even want the puppy. You're the one who voted to have this on here, so you can't just hide from it and tell everybody to insulate you because you have a dragon. Because it is your responsibility, because it is our promise not to harm it.
Well, as far as I know, I didn't give birth to the damn thing.
You didn't give birth to what? That bug?
Yeah, exactly. So I got nothing to do with it.
Yes, you did, because you voted to bring it onto this ship.
Well, let's just
And
agree
it is a
to
danger
disagree.
to the world.
Let's not get dramatic. If it steps out of line, we'll just squash it. No.
Wow.
As it's learning everything, all the tricks. That's you don't ever.
If
be a
you're so
military
afraid of it, then
technician.
just, you know.
I'm not afraid of it. I am
Exactly.
wary of it, but I have made a promise not to kill it, and you did too.
Okay, well, I'm not killing it then.
Well, maybe it'll go after your family first. That's all I can hope for.
Well, it's going to need to go to a different timeline to get that done.
Well,
Well,
what
no.
happens if we go into that timeline? What are you gonna do? You didn't say.
I'll tell you
You
one
brought
thing.
it on this ship.
That bug isn't joining us to our own timeline.
And you're a man who talks about honor, integrity, and doing the right thing to your daughter. I see what you believe in promises then. And she just walks away.
And I'll point out during probably the second evening, you all hear some beautiful harp playing
Corbin
Does
immediately
it sound
plugged
familiar?
Zeus.
It does sound familiar.
Does it sound like my mother's heart playing?
It does sound like the music.
Well, I'm going to plug my own and Astrea's ears with wax, and I'll tell her when you hear a song like this out on the sea, you must always plug your ears because it will affect your mind.
And she looks at you. What?
Oh yeah, duh. I'll say it before I plug her ears.
Okay. Okay.
Arcadia's what? Is she feeling like she's being charmed, or does this just look like a familiar tune?
It just sounds like a familiar tune. And
She's gonna go up.
and it is coming from like below deck.
It's coming from below deck?
Correct.
Oh fuck, it's the bug. She's gonna go down there. Is it the bug?
It is. And it is playing a harp.
And Amicia
Where did it
seems
get
to
the
have
heart?
not realized, and he's mobilizing the crew for combat.
It appear like looking at it, it appears to be homemade, like it made it itself. And it sees you and says, "Hi. Would you like to join?"
And she says, "No, I only play the harp under very special circumstances."
Oh, okay.
But you have learned very quickly.
Yes, thank you. You were a great teacher.
Tell me, what else have you learned here? Are you finding your time here productive?
Yes, and she will. It will say something like broken draconic. And we'll say, yeah, it's we're I'm learning a lot. It's I thank you so much for allowing me on this trip. Tell me, what is the creature that Ametria says? It's a dragon, like a Zeus, correct? And vengeance. Where do they come from?
Arcadia says, they have been extinct for a long time, so I am not exactly sure where they're coming from, but we've come across them seemingly by accident.
Oh, interesting. And then they just take a master like these, all of the dragons do?
No, some dragons are independent.
Independent, like they act by themselves?
I think so. I have not had much experience with dragons.
Oh, they must be powerful females indeed. And then it will go back to playing the harp. And we'll say, if you ever want to join, please feel free.
Arcadia nods.
Corbin wanders down the stairs to see what's going on.
And she turns him right around and goes back up to get the other party and explains to them, like, that thing learned how to play the harp from watching me once, and it's already learning Draconic.
And when you come up, you hear Amitrius spout some dangerous rhetoric to the baby dragon. Something about getting blood on her fangs, and a dragon's soul is forged in battle. It's in your blood to dominate and defeat your foes. And then upon seeing Arcadia, he's like, "Oh hey Arcadia, what's going on? What was that music?"
And she's like teaching her the ways of the Paladin conquest, I see.
Exactly.
And she tells him, she says, that Merrimack learned how to play the harp from watching me once, and it's already learning Draconic. It already knows some Draconic.
And Amicia says, "Oh, that's incredible. We should make it play some music for us in the city. Maybe it can earn some coin."
Are you not worried of the other things that it's learning? It learns a language that quickly.
So it's learning a few things quickly. That is impressive. But what do you want me to do about it?
Corbin says, I'll handle this, Arcadia, and I'll walk downstairs and I will watch the creature playing for a moment.
In the end, no matter what it learns, it's just one bug. You can't learn strength.
Is the
You can't
creature
learn
still playing?
experience.
It is, and it invites you to join them.
They were defeated once before. They can be defeated again.
They were defeated
I'll-
by a god, and I'm not convinced that they don't have some sort of connection with each other. Did you not notice that 5 seconds before Corbin appeared from below, they all said, "Oh, your friend is back"? How did they know that?
Why are you asking me these questions? And last I
Because
checked, we were defeating gods, so I think we can handle these bugs.
It's
We
my
just
job.
gotta
Corbin
to
work
will
do
on
this.
casually
nothing.
reach
Let's
down,
just- let's
grab
just
the
move
harp,
on,
and
Prince.
smash it to bits.
Oh, jeez.
What the hell?
Really?
And then I'll say, oops, sorry.
And its
I don't
eyes,
want to spend the rest of my journey talking about this bug.
its eyes grow really big for a moment, and like it looks like it's on the verge of tears, and asks why you would do this.
I'm gonna
Corbin,
just
you
shrug and walk
asshole.
away.
Stop making this thing evil.
Okay. So you took it, smashed it, and said, "Oops." That's funny. Poor bug.
Wow.
And now I feel bad for
I
it.
don't know how that helps things.
It's not playing the
But,
guitar
okay.
anymore. I thought that was bothering you.
Yeah, you guys stopped hearing the music when Corbin comes back upstairs.
And she goes, "What
This
did you
ain't
do?"
right. This ain't right. I'm not
Well,
with
she's
that.
gonna ask. She doesn't know what happened. She asked Corbin, "What did he do?"
I did. What's in the
You did what?
just check out the Discord.
Animal
You
House.
smashed the guitar against the wall. Oh, come on.
And she says, "Why would you do that?"
It was annoying me. Plus, you said you didn't like it playing that.
I never said I didn't like it playing it. What I said is I was concerned with it learning things so quickly, and now you've just shown it cruelty.
Mm.
If this is as truly, they come from a harmonious society, and they have not known strife, I don't want to be part of teaching them that, because then that could get out of control. We only saw 120 of them. If they're like anything like ants in our life, there's thousands upon thousands of them.
Yes, Corbin, you went down there to the depths and talked to the Queen. How many did you see down there?
There weren't that many down there. But it's a big place. There could have been many more that I didn't see.
Just
It's a
a thought.
good thing they're trapped and can't get out of that island.
Yeah, good thing.
And a good thing that they don't know how to make boats.
But I think Arcadia's right. We should probably show them as little as possible.
Uh,
But also, we can't worry about it all the time. We have things to do.
we can't turn this guy into a prisoner since we promised it, and our promises are very important to Arcadia. So, even if it learns 1,000 skills, in the end it's just one creature. If it becomes a problem or threatens us in any way, we can take care of it. And maybe if we're nice to it, it might even help us with all of those handy skills it's learning. I mean, the wizard is asleep half the time. I mean, if this thing has spells, I'd rather have this thing along than the wizard.
Speaking of, where is he?
He had a long night last night. I heard him. He was up all night, pacing in his cabin.
And you'll hear a loud crash from below.
I will
Arcadia's
go
gonna
below
go
to
down
check.
there. Arcadia's gonna go down. She's like, "Let me handle this."
And you see that the creature has smashed an oar and looks at you and says, "Oops,
I have taught him well.
And he says, "What are you doing?"
I thought that was just a sign of friendship. Corbin came and smashed the harp, so I smashed an oar and said, "Oops," just like he did.
That only applies to musical instruments.
Are you down there too?
I'll yell down the stairs.
Did you hear
Only
what he said?
only for musical instruments, he says. Oh, it says, "Oh, only for musical instruments." Got it. Oops for musical instrument. Okay.
And Arcadia says, "I would actually just forget that. That was not something we normally do." What? Are all of your people very similar? Do you all act the same, being part of a hive mind, kind of?
Yes.
Can you communicate with each other over distances because you're, like, through smell or things? I mean, we have creatures on this world that seem to be able to do that. Can you communicate with your people?
I think so. But we haven't gone this far in several thousand years, so I'm not 100% certain.
Do you feel alone right now, or can you feel them? Can you share your thoughts?
I think I can feel them, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling them or if I'm feeling the love of the Great Stallion.
Oh, I thought you were a fan of Bahamut's earlier. Are you switching loyalties? Or
Well,
are you both?
I'm keeping my mind open.
Ah.
Because the wizard Gravik has many powerful abilities in a dragon, but our queen says that most dragons are slaves to people, so maybe the stallion is better.
Your queen?
Queen Arcadia.
Oh. They're not slaves. The dragons you see here are companions. They want to be bonded. They are not slaves.
We see.
But it's best if you don't smash things.
Only musical
Okay.
instruments smash. Okay.
Well, not even musical instruments. Corbin likes to smash things. Your people may be all the same, but our people have different likes. But in general, smashing things is not. You should ask me first next time.
Yes. Well, I figured that Corbin asked Queen Arcadia to smash, so we took it as it was okay to smash. We apologize.
And she says it's okay. And then she will walk away.
And Amitrius will go find her and he will say, "I have an idea." And I will ask the party to meet me in the captain's quarters. And I will tell them, you know how the gods of this world, well, we've determined that they are evil or at least shady, right? The 5 gods.
Well, we've only met 2 of them.
Exactly. So what I was thinking, what if Sidon is different in this world as well? What if he's actually a good god? Maybe he can tell us a little bit more.
Okay, so you want to try to find him?
I think if they have a temple of him in Aresia, we could go there and maybe pray to him and ask him to meet us.
Well, if the Lutheria... Is Lutheria dead in this world? Because he might not be too happy that we killed his sister. Or is there another Lutheria? Like another Kyra?
I don't know. Maybe the other guys killed Lutheria as well here. Because we did see people crying that Lutheria was dead.
Yeah, we could look. Let's ask around, but I think first we want to find Chuck. Is that what we want to do first?
Sure. But it's an idea. I mean, getting Sidon's perspective is probably good to learn as much as we can about this mess we're in.
Yeah. Well, and one thing, even though as much as you, I would love to go home, we have to entertain the possibility that we are stuck here. And so I don't want to destroy this world anyway, even if there are innocent people here. And this might have to be our home.
I can't accept that. But I'll at least...
I don't want to accept it either, but I have to make allowances for it.
Very well.
Are we there yet?
If you guys don't have anything else to do the rest of this day, we find the bug. We fix the bug. Now we have 2 bugs. Now we have 3 bugs. I like that. So the next morning, let me make sure I give
Is
you
this
all
the third
rest.
morning?
Yes. You wake up, and it is completely covered in fog.
Ooh.
Can you do something about this, Nico? I thought you controlled the weather.
I can't control the weather.
He's not that kind of druid.
Carbon mumbles that under his breath as he goes to get some coffee.
Nico cast Druidcraft, and he has this little thing that predicts the weather for the next 24 hours. I can check to see if this fog's gonna last. But
Oh, you do? What's that, Nico?
with Druidcraft,
Oh, cool.
it looks like fog.
Magic.
Yeah, you say? It's foggy? Huh? I noticed.
And eventually, let's see here. Yeah, fog, so much fog.
Nico's gonna
Does
cast water breathing on everybody as a ritual, just to start the day out. Just in case we happen to go overboard.
All right.
And
does that-
Good.
Is that fog seem supernatural, or is it just regular fog? Can we tell?
This appears to be regular fog.
Well, Graphic can control wind, but maybe he can do something, but...
Yeah, he has control wind.
But would he use it? You know, Graphic.
He's stingy with his spells.
Well, if we want to just, pretend that he's, completely incapacitated, then we should just say that.
It's also a level 5 spell. I don't know if he wants to use a level 5
Oh,
spell.
is it that high? Oh.
Yeah. Because who knows what you'll find in Orisha.
Right, that's what he would think. I would believe that.
Well, I will go and do some blind sight training with Astrea. Teach her the ropes of fighting blindly and sensing things.
And so how do you blindfold her?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. The Mirmac will ask you what exactly you are doing as you are blindfolding them.
And Demetrius won't answer the question, but he will just continue with the training. And he's using a wooden stick, and he is swinging it at the dragon slowly to give her time to sense when it comes in range and easily avoid it.
And she would definitely she would get hit once or twice, of course.
Yeah, but you would like
what smack her?
Just
Yeah. She'd be like, Dad, I'm only 2 days old.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Actually, don't dragons have I don't know how long in the egg and that they grow up there? I don't know.
And you notice out of the the side of your eye that the Merrimack has also blindfolded itself and is attempting to do the dodges. By itself, of course. But eventually, the fog starts to lift, and one of the guys calls out, "Land ho!" And you see ahead of you a big ass gate.
Is there a place to dock, or do we have to leave the Ultros on the ocean?
There is a place to dock.
And what do we know about Arisia? I mean, what do the players know about? I mean, characters know about Arisia.
We know it's where Chuck is from, and he's my friend.
Yeah,
This world.
and I don't think much really almost anything. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
they're monks.
yeah, you know, there's
Well,
monks there.
I've
It's
fought a bunch of them in the arena, so I'm going to try a history check if I can. See if I know anything special about it.
it's off of the coast of the Eurasian Peninsula.
I assume there's a regions there.
There are regions there. Demetrius, you remember off the because you fought, like you said, you fought a bunch and probably have talking to some like in your slave or not your slave days, but your arena days. That they only have queens. The current queen is named Queen Helen, and that their god that they worship is named Narcissus.
I will tell the party, "Hey, Arcadia, you'll like this one," and I'll tell them what you just said, that they only have queens, and about their god, I'll say that name sounds vaguely familiar. Isn't that one of the five gods?
God, Narcissus.
Holy fuck!
Yes.
Motherfucker!
Well, be on your guard.
51 months, damn brother.
No, this is yeah.
51 months, hell yeah.
One of Bomitriss's children, and
Ooh,
Narcissus
you got me.
was also Leaping Spires was in honor of Narcissus. The challenge of jumping balance
Ooh, that was good.
that was in honor of Narcissus.
We never actually saw him in our own timeline, right?
No. But they worship the god of beauty.
Well, I'll tell the crew to dock us at that dock.
Okay. And they do so.
And I get off and I go to the harbor master and I'll ask how much it is for this pier.
He says, for a ship that size, man, how long do you plan on staying?
Few days at most.
How about 50 a day? 50 gold a day.
Sure, and I'll give him 50.
Okay.
I'll be docked then.
And he looks at you all and, what the hell is that? And points behind all of you.
What's he
At
pointing
the,
at?
At the bug.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just a creature we found on our journeys.
And it looks at him still on the ship and says, greetings, Harbor Master. It is nice to meet you. And guy's like, yeah, right, okay.
Don't worry about it. He's not. It's not allowed to leave the ship.
But,
No, those were the
Please?
rules. Remember, you agreed to it.
not even to, like, journey and to see what you guys all do? What if you need help?
We're going to check out the city first, and if you behave, I'll consider it.
And
Work hard to do your best with the crew, and when we come back, if we hear good things about you, I'll take you for a tour to our tavern or something.
it takes out a miniature miniature bagpipe that it looked like he had been carving. It smashes in the ground and stomps on it and says, "Oops," and will pick it up and walk away.
What the hell is wrong with it? And I'll take Astrea with me as well, like on my shoulder. He's chill there.
And he says, "Ooh, dragon."
Yeah, take a good look, but don't touch.
Would you be willing to part with the
If
dragon?
you even ask, we're going to have a problem.
Hey, young master, no issues. Just asking a question.
Wait, oh, that's the harbor master, not the bug.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to the ship and I'll tell everyone that I'll tell Vorina to arrange for shore leave in rotation to keep the bug guy on board and to begin with the resupplies.
Okay.
And then I guess gather the party and I'll tell Nico, well, lead on to your good friend Chuck.
Nico.
Well, that's what's Corbin's friend.
Corbin.
Before she leaves, Arcadia goes to the bug and says, "What shall I call you?"
And it looks at you and you asking us to give a name?
Yes.
And it sits there and thinks, and I don't know. Never been asked to give a name before. Perhaps I tell you when you come back?
And she just nods and she'll walk away.
Alright. So come up here. These gates are 100 feet high. Each of the city's entry gates is guarded by a dozen vigilant soldiers and 2 ballistae. The heavy wooden gates are painted white and set into solid stone. Each gate is operated with a system of bronze pulleys. And when we come up to the gates, one of them says, "What do you want?"
What do you think? We went into the city.
And like, we don't need no business with a centaur, a woman, and a midget.
I'll speak up. I'll say. I'll speak up and say, "I am no midget. I am Corbin, and Chuck. And you might want to inquire about Chuck about me.
Chuck? What do you know about Chuck?"
He invited me here."
Bah. Wait 1 minute then. And you see that this is a massive ass gate, and they have the ballista targeted down onto use. But I'd say about 10 minutes later, the gate starts to open, and out comes Chuck, and he says, "Ah, Corbin, you son of a bitch, you finally decided to show up."
I'll slap arms with him.
Yeah, and he'll give you a hug.
It was good to see you. Does he look scarred or burned?
He does not.
Mm.
And he says, "Well, what brings you here?" It's and he looks over at sees Aziz and Vengeance and Strayan. Oh, you got more dragons.
So if Aziz is there, does that mean Gravik is with us then?
Yeah.
Dragging him along.
Gravik is being dragged along because he is that kind of bard.
Yes. My vision to reform the Dragonlords is starting to take shape.
Perfect. I'm surprised that your own centaur's in, but hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth.
And looks at Demetrius and gives him a wink.
I remember taking a shit all over your region monks during the Great Games.
It's the new Dragonlords. We take all kinds now. We might even have these things called Canadians someday.
And Gravik starts to mumble. If you're lucky, you'll have Canadians.
And they say, yes, we came by. We're investigating some very strange occurrences lately, and we're still trying to preserve the peace, as you know. And,
Yeah.
And also, I think last time we talked, I mean, I said I was very interested in getting that special tattoo.
Yeah, I remember this. I think we could work something out if you could handle it, you know.
There's not much we can't handle, you know this.
Sure. You want some refreshments, beer, something like that before? I'm sure. Does your friends want to do something? Watching someone getting tattooed is kind of boring.
Well, you never know. I might want a tattoo as well.
Nah, I don't know.
What? Think I can't handle it?
And he looks over at Corbin.
I don't know, you might have to shave him. He's pretty hairy.
And yeah, he'll whisper something to Corbin about the centaurs, the tattoo artist that they know would never tattoo a centaur.
I'll say, well, maybe I should get mine first, Demetrius. You never know. Might not look very good.
Say, Chuck, anyone in this city got a problem with centaurs?
I mean, you know.
I hope it doesn't turn into a problem.
Well, I would, as he looks up at all the guards and shit up top watching, I would suggest, I know you have a temper problem. I would suggest, and as he looks around, people watching, he's like, why don't maybe we talk, how about we go to my home really quick and we have a chat about Aresia.
Sure.
Alright. So he'll lead you over to his home. And as he walks in, another male greets you and, Chuck, you finally brought them home. I've been wondering. I know all the fairy tales that you were saying in your journey, but this must be Corbin.
The one and only.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Laertes.
I will bow.
I did.
Oh,
I was already doing it. And so Chuck will invite you to sit down and ask if any of you wants refreshments, and Laertes apologizes for not having centaur accommodations. Hey, good morning, my cubs.
That's fine, I'll stand.
And drinks, food. Gravik. Oh, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten in 3 days.
who says that?
Gravik.
Mm.
But yeah, if you guys want food and stuff, they'll give it to you. And as you're eating, Chuck says, "So some things you might want to know. The people here in Aresia, we're not really connected much with Mirtros and the outside world, so going around spouting that you're the heroes of the Oracle and this and that, they don't give a shit. Quite literally, no one here would give a shit.
Whose ass do I have to kick to make them care?
You probably have to take on almost the whole city. Just people here, they just don't care. They're happy as the way things are. The queen is law here. She's the queen. Spouting off about gods and stuff. They don't care. Here we worship Narcissus. So don't go expecting handouts and free stuff. Corbin, of course, I'll get you your tattoo because you actually showed up, and I was quite surprised. It's very nice to see you. But word of advice: don't start shits. There won't be shits. They don't really. Some people here don't really like centaurs, so that's just be careful.
Listen up, Chuck. You talk a big game, so I'm supposed to believe that everything here in Aresia is peachy perfect. Everyone is happy, and you don't have any problem.
Not saying we don't have any problems. It's just saying we like to keep our things internal.
Okay, and your queen has no need of any hero.
I don't know. I don't talk to the queen. I'm just a monk.
I've been to a few cities before. Whenever we go through the gate, they start by giving us shit. And then the city threatens to blow up, and the queen comes to us for help. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
Well, don't expect that here.
Okay, we'll see.
I see.
I guess it's your loss, because if we're out of here, you guys can deal with your own problems.
No, Scott is
I will
here.
ask Chuck. So what do you require for this tattoo that I need?
Well, I need an arm, and I need to know what kind of tattoo you. Well, I guess not me, but you can tell the tattoo artist.
Very well.
But just
We should go
remember,
and meet him.
and just something I guess Corbin would know. I believe tattoos require attunement.
Yeah, it does.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
So just make sure you have, because you have
Yep.
3 things.
Yeah, I'll have to drop the cloak.
Okay. Oh, the cloak, but no more flying Corbin. Flying Corbin with the kilt as large.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. So that's all he'll really say.
All right. I'll see. And after I get the tattoo, I would like to talk to you about another matter, but I would like to get the tattoo first, if possible.
Sure.
Maybe the rest of you should explore the city, if you can behave, and I'll look at Demetrius.
This city
keep an eye
doesn't
on
want
him.
me. This city doesn't want me. That's their loss. I'm going back to the Ultras.
Maybe that is for the best. But stand by in case we need you. Your prediction could always be true, Has been before.
What, do you stay or do you go? Demetrius.
Amitrius goes back to the Ultras.
Okay. And is your by yourself, or is anyone else going with them?
Maybe Gravit goes with him.
Yeah, Gravit can go with him. He's like, I guess I'll go and keep an eye on the horse or the centaur. And as they're leaving, Beatrice, you hear murmuring from one of the guards up top. Get out of here with you.
I'll look up at him and I'll give him a friendly little wave. I'll say goodbye.
And ignore. All right, so those two are gone. What was I say? Oh, Chuck will look at Nico and Arcadia. So, do you want to? Holy shit, Scott finally showed up. So, do you two want to? So, I guess Gravik doesn't leave. He'll just let Demetrius go himself. So, and Chuck will look at Corbin or Nico and Arcadia. So, do you want to go up and explore, or do you want to come? You want to come get a tattoo or watch Corbin get a tattoo?
I'd prefer to go to the nearest tavern.
You do look kind of thirsty.
Yes, I'd like to try your local ales.
All right, for that, so you want to go to the Red Lotus. It's you come out here, you go across the bridge, and it's off to your right or to your left. Sorry, I can't do. But you know, there's a bunch of crowd or a bunch of sailors and merchants and some warriors. So you know, probably just your kind of people.
I feel right at home.
Yes, sir. And it's run by a very nice dwarven woman named Jocasta.
Well, I gotta keep my self in check. I'm in the doghouse right now, and I don't want to stay in it. So, but I could still make friends.
I see.
And Nico's gonna tell everyone that he's gonna go to the Red Lotus for a couple drinks and talk to a couple people and see what maybe get some ideas of what the city's about, besides just what's on the top.
All right. And yes, about Arcadia.
She bows to him and says, Master Chuck, I would like to learn from your monks and perhaps train with them. I have great interest in your stunning strike.
And he kind of looks over at Laertes and, well, and he kind of scratches his head and looks a little embarrassed. How do I say it? And Laertes says, "You have boobs, honey."
So you don't have any female warriors here?
Not monks.
What kind of female warriors do you have?
City guard, keepers of the peace. Most of our women are kind of like teachers, like, or, you know, they go to the gym and hang out in the gymnasium. We have some priestesses, but monk warriors, we don't really have those. Look, it's not a progressive. It's a progressive city, but it's not.
Would you be willing to teach me the philosophy behind the stunning strike?
And the two guys, they share a look, and Laertes kind of nods his head a little bit, and Chuck says, "Sure."
And what can I give you in return?
If you go and learn it, don't use it in open around the regions.
And then she bows and says, and then I am indebted to you.
Very well. And she says, but I'm just going to get Corbin here his tattoo. If you want to hang out with Laertes, he can certainly go over kind of like the principles. I guess it's kind of really, yeah, we can do what we can.
Okay, so she will stay there.
And then they'll look over at Gravik and, what about you, Sir Gravik, and your Dragon Aziz, what do you plan on doing?
I'm sorry, what? I kind of spaced out there.
So you guys are in Aresia. Chuck, I don't know if you remember Chuck, but Chuck's here. You're at the home of Chuck. Chuck gave that lowdown Demetrius that he can't start shit, so he went back to the Ultros. And they're taking Corbin to get a tattoo, and then they're just seeing what you want to do with in the city, if anything, or if you want to follow them.
He'll follow them and see what's up with this tattoo that's so important to. It's so interesting, I guess.
Okay. Alright, so to the tattoo shop we go! Yahoo! Alright, Corbin. They take you to a tattoo shop, and it's not like a dingy tattoo shop. It's a very nice, very well cleaned, yeah. And they look at you and ask, "What kind of tattoo do you want?"
I want the tattoo that lets me damage magical creatures with my hands.
And what is that one called? Because I hope you know which one it is.
Great, now you're making me look it up.
Because I don't. I have a list. I have a list of them, but I have no idea which one it is. I didn't know if you knew off the top of your head. As you've been going, it says you've been going for this for 94 sessions now.
I think that's it. Let me look.
Nope.
Nope, that's not it. Shit.
It's from Tasha's, right?
I think so. Oh, is this it? This might be it. Now on these pages, it pops has like a trillion pop-ups on it. It's killing me.
You can look at the module.
I think it's the Eldridge Claw tattoo.
Eldridge Claw. Let's see here. Why the tattoos on your skin? Your unarmed strikes are considered magical for the person overcoming immunity and versus attacking. You gain a +1, 2. Yeah. And as a bonus action, you can empower the tattoo for 1 minute for the duration of each of your attacks with the weapon. How about we just do this so I don't have to read the whole bloody thing?
Yep.
Ooh, Inky Tendrils launch out. Nice.
I remember Gilran having inky tendrils launching out, didn't he?
I do believe
yeah, but that's
he had this.
normal for all warlocks.
Yeah.
No, he had the same tattoo.
He had the same tattoo, yeah.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, let's I believe we can do this. So inventory. And you're getting rid of the.
Well, actually, if I can, I think I might get rid of the armor.
Armor.
I mean, it's not like I'm getting rid of the item. I'm just getting rid of the
2 minute. Yeah. Okay.
But I might try to find armor that doesn't need tattooing because I don't really need that black dragon scale stuff.
Yeah. That. Let's see. So that's the damage resistance, right?
Yeah, the acid resistance.
Yeah, the breastplate.
After this, I'll go look for a magical breastplate that doesn't require attunement.
Alright, and we'll do that. And did I give you the coding? If not, I have a thing. Alright, wait 1 second. Scorpion's finally getting tattooed after 2 years.
Yeah, well, whenever we started, I think I was looking for it on day 1.
Yeah, yes you were. Yes you were. Eldritch Claw. So I put it under equipped effects for you. If you want to move it, if you want to move it around it. That should work. And if it doesn't work, well then we'll make it work. Yeah, light magic. Okay, cool. So yeah, it'll work. Nice and simple.
Fast, I can hit things.
You can hit all things now.
Yay.
Nice.
Yay! Yay! Now, if you can actually damage them or not is a question, but And the tattoo artist, one of the tattoo artists, comes up to Graphic and says, "Aren't you that one guy who wrote the plays?"
I suppose so. Yes.
Can I have your autograph?
Sure. And he'll.
She holds out an arm.
Who do I address it to?
And she looks up. My name is Terrius.
Okay, and he'll pull out his phoenix feathered writing quill and he'll dip it in some ink and start writing on her arm. And it's very, since it's that quill, it's very flowery lettering.
Yes. And she goes red.
There, I suppose that'll do.
Thank you so much. How long are you in the city for?
I'm not sure. Our stays tend to vary depending on how much we let the centaur roam.
Ew. You're friends with the centaur?
Well, I wouldn't say we're friends, but we are very close acquaintances.
Isn't Amitrius like part of his plays?
Yeah.
She would know at least, right?
Yeah, but you know how he was put off in his plays, though. The one that she probably would have seen is very dumb. And
this is why Iresians don't like centaurs.
And she looks at you and she says, "Oh, and she kind of turns her. I hope you have a lovely stay." And she will kind of give a quick little nod.
I hope so too. It seems like a lovely city.
It is. And the other tattoo artist she just got done tattooing Corbin says, "You had a shot, but you had to say you were friends with the centaur."
What's wrong with centaurs? I agree they can be a little trying sometimes, but they don't seem all that bad.
Well, a centaur killed her brother in the arena, and
I see. Well, I suppose that would sour anyone, but
Oh well. Is there any maybe you kind of you want a tattoo? I can't really do a special tattoo for you, just like Corbin here, because yeah, I don't like how you portray some of the characters in your play, but
that's fine. My body's a temple anyways. I'm not that interested in any marking it with anything.
And she looks over at Corbin, femboys, am I right?
Yeah.
What?
Well, you've seen the plays, after all. You know how they are.
Nothing, Corbin or Graphic. I was just talking to Corbin here.
You sure he doesn't want a princess tattoo?
We were a little tramp stamp.
Maybe you have one of those, stick-on ones.
Okay. Like for the children. She starts laughing. She starts busting up. And she looks at Graphic. "Would you like a press-on tattoo, sir?"
No, I find that all tattoos seem pretty tacky and make you look kind of undesirable.
Ah, I see.
I flex my new tattoo and I shoot some inky tendrils out at him.
and she slaps you. Not inside. You're gonna have to clean it up then.
Corbin is now a squid.
He is a squid. I'm glad you guys finally made it to a resist our Cobra could have a tattoo. And she looks at you guys and says, anything else for you too?
You sell armor here as well?
In a tattoo shop?
Yeah, sometimes there's a one-stop shop. Where is the nearest armor shop?
And she just looks at you. And the nearest armor shop, probably in the market. If you follow this up, you pass the gymnasium, and it's on the other side. If you pass the Temple of the Shield, you're on the right path. You'll know it's a Temple of the Shield because, hey, there's a big-ass shield hanging out.
Awesome.
Cool. And she looks at Gravik and says, you sure, you don't want to press on tattoo, young sir?
No, I'm sure, but maybe my centaur friend would like one.
Oh, I could give him a tattoo, of course. I would happily tattoo him.
Yeah, maybe he'd like one to remember his battle at the stadium with.
And you hear something go crash from behind you. And Chuck says, we're leaving now. And grabs you.
Even when I'm not fucking there, there's trouble. There's
grabs you,
trouble.
grabs you, and Chuck grabs Gravik forcibly by the arm and starts to lead him.
Okay, he'll just let him be dragged along.
Alright. Cool. Well, with that, let's take a 2-minute break because I gotta pee.
Yep, same.
And then we'll jump over to Nico. Alright, stream. We'll be back in like 10 minutes, so if you go away. Okay. If you go away, please come back, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes. We start some music, and we'll go to here. Nope, not that one. We'll go here. We'll start up some music, and I'll cut my mic.
Everywhere I turn,
dance with you. Ba-ba-bam-bam-bam, ba-ba-bam-bam. Ba-ba-bam-bam-bam, ba-ba-bam-bam. Baby, baby, is there no chance I can take you for the last thing all night long? Yeah, I've been waiting. Now there'll be no hesitating. So before this dance has reached the end, ba-ba-bam-bam-bam, ba-ba-bam-bam, to you across the floor, my love I'll send. Ba-ba-bam-bam-bam, ba-ba-bam-bam. I just hope and pray that I'll find a way to say, can I dance with you? Ba-ba-bam-bam-bam, ba-ba-bam-bam.
Ask me what I did with my life. I spent it with you.
Me.
Oh, Corbin. Oh, it'd be a nightmare for Arcadia. Not the
And for Corbin.
goats.
We'll just put her in the pen with the other goats in the hole.
Oh, yeah. Babies.
Ask me what I did with my life. I spent it with you. If I lose my fame and fortune, don't matter. As long as I got you, baby.
Oh, is everybody here?
I'm here.
I'm here.
As long as I got you, baby.
And my
Wait, who's
axe.
Is Tyler?
As long as I got you.
Is Gravik there?
Yeah. I'm here.
You are?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, in alphabetical order, so who is left? Corbin, Gravik, Nico. Corbin is 1 and 2, Gravik is 3 and 4, and Nico is 5 and 6. Okay?
Didn't Corbin already get a necklace of fireballs?
Oh, right. So it's just Nico and
Yeah.
right? It's just Nico and Gravik.
That's correct.
Okay. Gravik is 1 and 2, and Nico is 3 and 4. Okay?
It's like it's a 3.
It's okay. As long as I got you, baby.
Oh, Nico.
As long as I got you, baby. As long as I got you, baby. As long as I got you, baby. As long as I got you, baby.
Super sus.
As long as I got you.
Twitch chat.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh, okay. Where do I roll on it? Oh. Okay, good deal. That's all. Yay.
Oh, there's some good Arisian wine. You've never had that before, I'm guessing.
Oh,
Or Arisian grog, or Arisian ale, or
Regent ales. Yeah. That's some nice, refreshing pilsners from Arisia. You'd be filling up on them. Just could be buying a couple kegs and shipping it to the Ultros.
Yeah, you have Merrimack wine and Arisian ale. It's going to be like, Nico and his, like, exotic drinks.
Right.
Let me turn this on and turn that on, and we're back. All right. So Corbin got his tattoo. Gravik started to try and start some shit. I guess Demetrius is rubbing off on him too much, and now we jump over to Nico, who went to the Red Lotus. So Nico, come in here. The warm interior of this tavern carries the pleasant aroma of roasting seafood and spicy smoke. The main room is dominated by a massive fireplace and filled with boisterous conversation. An ancient bronze shield decorates the wall above the hearth. And everyone stops for a second and looks at you and sees that you're a dwarf, and they give nods and go back to their conversations.
So Nico goes up to the bar and orders a beer.
And she comes up, it's the elven woman. Ah, dwarf I haven't met before. What are you doing here?
I'm Nicodemus. I come from Mitros on the ship the Ultros with my crew. We just stopped in to do some sightseeing and talk to some old friends from Arisia here. So I figured I'd come into the local establishment that I've heard nothing about, but and figured I'd test out some of your local beers and drinks.
Well, I am so happy as someone of your caliber and girth comes to my humble establishment. Do you just want drink, or would you also like some food? We have very good food.
Well, I think I should fill up my belly with some seafood soup and some local bread if you have any.
Well, we have. She'll hand you a menu, and there's an appetizer plate. There is shrimp. That's shrimp coated in homemade spice blend, cooked with the white wine, olive oil, sauce, and peppers, served over rice. White fish ramen bowl, which is seared white fish and vegetables in a rich savory broth. They have regular or warrior style, which is no noodles. They have a wine. A bottle of this is 20 gold. It's a lush velvety red with black cherry flavors, and something called a celebration feast, which is one of everything, plus a shot of the sour plum wine, Arisian Courage.
Oh, I'll have that lot. So he's gonna lay down. He's gonna lay down 100 gold. It's gonna be like, okay, I think I'll have the lot.
Nico's gonna increase his girth with that, which is what I think she's interested in.
And then he's gonna try to get into a drinking contest after he's done eating too.
All right. So yeah, she's like, oh, mighty man, indeed. Yeah, you don't happen to be as she's all this food's coming out and feeding you, and you don't happen to be married or anything.
Oh, yes, I am. I'm so sorry.
Oh man. Well, I mean, she's you're a sailor.
He holds up his ring hand. His ring fingers twitching, twiddling around. Yep. There's a gold ring on his finger.
But I mean, you are a sailor, correct? So I'm assuming your wife's back home?
Nope, she's on the ship with us. The whole family we took with us.
She looks very downtrodden. Well, if you ever make your way back here, well, look me up. She'll keep making small talk here and there, but yeah, she'll give you your food. You see, as you're looking around, you see there's a minotaur over there, and he's kind of drinking by himself, and he looks at you, and he kind of gives you a nod and holds up a glass.
Nico's gonna finish up his food and grab his beer, his tankard, and he's gonna walk over to the minotaur. Hey, cheers, friend. I am Nico. You can call me. I am Nicodemus. You could call me Nico.
And
What do I call you?
He says, "My name is Taros. You can call me Taros."
I knew that was coming.
How about we get into a drinking contest? Do you think you'd like to challenge me?
You want to challenge a minotaur to a drinking contest? Ha ha!
Hey!
Ha! And one of the you see another, it's kind of a group of college students. Oh, newcomer! He's challenging my Taros to a drinking contest. Ha ha ha!
Best way to make friends in a bar.
You're not wrong.
Dwarves are better than minotaurs.
Good thing you were not there.
Yeah, very good.
So maybe, what do you think? Con saves to hold in your flicker?
Okay. Roll.
That's from the Minotaur. Oh,
you got me on the first one.
and he looks at you and, you're not that Nicodemus. I thought you were stronger.
Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay, come on.
Woo,
Big money.
This guy's drinking.
I don't think you can beat him.
Close though.
Yeah.
You'd had to roll a 20 to tie.
Yeah, 20 to tie. Come on now. You can do better than that.
Come on, Nico.
And now you got a chance now.
Nico's got the stamina, maybe.
Oh,
no. Down
And he-
goes Nico.
And he goes, you're supposed to drink it, my friend, not to wear it. Maybe the Eurasian ale here is not, is a little too potent for a dwarf of Mirtros.
I think I ate. My belly's too full with seafood. I'm sorry.
And you hear in the background, if you're gonna hurl, do it outside, or you're cleaning it up.
Can hold it in.
And he's like, I like you, man. You're all right. A couple months here, we're gonna be holding a tournament. It's gonna be the greatest tournament in all the lands. If you like to, if you kind of want to join, you'd be more than welcome to join.
What kind of a tournament how are you holding for?
Well, we're gonna have shot puts and some javelins, maybe some running and jumping. Shit like that to show off your skills.
Yeah, I was in the Great Games in Mitros a few months ago.
Mitros. I've heard about those. How did those turn out? I know that a couple of our people went, but they did not come back victorious.
Yes, it was very tough games, but I did manage to win this, and he holds up the boon coin to Kentamine that he carries with him.
He looks at that and this design, I've never seen it before. What kind of design is that?
I'm not quite sure. I think having dwarven background, Nico should know what the design is.
Yeah, it's like he's never seen what it is. Like he's just wondering if it's like a different god or something like that.
Yes, it's a different god. It's for the Kentamine, the hundred-handed.
We've heard of him. Here we worship Narcissus.
Yes, I'm aware. I would like to visit the temple soon and visit some of your other places in the city, but for now I felt like making friends first.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's a few temples here, actually. Temple of the Shadow, Temple of the Elements, Temple of the Shield, Temple of the Sword. We also have a Wind Shrine. Temple of Tranquility. But if you see those students over there, they're kind of, he kind of holds his hand to the side, like limply, and they're kind of those kind of guys. So be careful. And it's not a bad little city. And of course we have the Temple of Narcissus, but that's in the Queen's Palace. And
yes.
I don't think someone of an outsider would be allowed in.
Well, can you tell me about the shield above the hearth?
Oh, yeah. It's as you look at it, you see it's etched with a bunch of different patterns. And he says, well, legends have it that this shield was once used by Stolos, the famous warrior who established the Temple of the Shield.
Beautiful design.
Yes, it is.
Unfortunately, me being a druid, I can only use wooden shields, and he shows him his shield with the squid painted on it.
You like the water, I see.
Yes. I was a dockmaster in my old job.
Nice. Can't really say I'm a Minotaur. We don't really swim too well, but I can appreciate it.
Let's see. Well, he's just gonna continue to buy rounds for the Minotaur and table next to him with the. You said there's monks in the.
Let's see here. There is. Oops, not that one. Sorry, I just lost. I just closed it. Where is it? Let's see. Those young students from the Temple of Tranquility. And then there's, as you look around, you also see that there is a small group of people kind of sitting in the back. They're just watching, and they all have sheath blades. And they're just kind of, they're not really, they have drinks, but they're not really sipping on it much. They're just watching.
So what kind of work do you do DS the Minotaur?
Well, I'm actually the Grand Master of the Elements. I'm a Master of Ceremonies for different tournaments.
I'm gonna have to join into this tournament that's coming up then. I'll tell me friends too.
It'll be.
We'll have to enter it.
Yeah. I've trained in the what we call the Way of the Four Elements, and yeah, it's that's just kind of what I do. But yeah, he kind of shrugs. Says, yeah, nothing too special.
Excellent, excellent.
But let me. I do have a question. You did say you're from Mirchos, correct?
Yes, correct.
Well, as you know, my people over there are slaves. Where do you stand on that issue?
Oh, we liberated quite a few of them.
Wait a second. This is interesting. Does this mean we're back in our regular world?
You don't know this. You don't know.
We have employed quite a few Minotaurs on our ship, and some of them hold high rank.
And he says, "Really? That's you employ? Wow. Okay.
Yes, they actually get paid.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I found this a couple days ago, and I don't have any use for it. If mayhaps you would." And he'll hand you something, and if you want to roll on that.
Oh.
Potion of Frost Giant Strength. Nice.
Woo!
So yeah, he holds it up, and you see it's a vial of transparent liquid, which has a sliver of something floating in it. Nice.
Let's see here. Thought I had.
Oh yeah, you do have a. You also have
I got
a fire
one
giant.
that's. I got a fire giant. Now I got a frost giant. That's awesome. Woohoo!
You're just collecting all the elements.
Frost Giant is 23.
Yeah, you're just collecting all the elements.
Oh yeah.
And fire is 25. So getting it.
Well, that helps out when I'm using the Titan's Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does.
You know, because I'm not a fighter, but the Titan's Bane is tuned to me. And having them potions before I do any battle is, if I want to use some melee weapon, that really comes in handy. Well, thank you very much. This could come in very handy.
My pleasure, my friend.
Let's enjoy ourselves another round of ales. On me.
Are you sure you'll be able to keep it down?
Oh, I've kept it down already.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right.
I'm gonna continue to buy rounds.
Cool. So let's head on over to Ametrius.
Okay. So Ametrius heads back to the Ultros. He already knows what was waiting for him if he stayed in that city. And he goes to the bug person.
Okay.
And he says,
the bug person is hard at work on something.
I'll say, what are you working on?
And he holds up what looks like a crude shield.
Very nice. Say, you said you wanted to go out and have some adventure, right?
Yes, but Queen Arcadia said I had to stay on the ship.
I'm the captain of the ship. Don't worry about what she says too much. This is your chance. You want to come with me on an adventure?
And he kind of looks at you and, I won't get in trouble?
No, but there's one rule.
Okay.
No questions. If you don't understand, just observe and see what's going on.
But no killing, correct? I cannot kill, right?
Well, you can kill some people. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
But Queen Arcadia said no killing.
Queen Arcadia this, Queen Arcadia that. Do you want to stay aboard the ship or do you want to go with Uncle Demetrius?
Okay. And he will stand up eagerly and has a smile on his face.
That's my boy. And I will go to the weapons rack and I'll take a spear and I'll hand it to him. Here, hold this.
Okay.
Then I will take out my figurine of wondrous power
Okay.
outside of the ship, and I will summon a griffin.
Okay.
Then I will mount up and I'll extend my hands and get up on the back.
And he hesitantly grabs on.
Okay, and then Astrea I'll take as well.
Okay.
And then I want to go and fly over the nearby woods, and I want to look for something like a bandit camp or some kind of trouble,
Yeah. Okay.
See if I see any smoke of any fire, and I want to go and hunt some bandit with the dragon and the memory yak.
Okay. That okay. I see. So when you land, you find a small bandit camp. I say 4 people, and they see the griffin land, and they all start grabbing their swords, and they say, "What are you doing here? Get out of here! This is our camp. Nothing for you."
And who exactly are you? See if I find any evidence of banditry, and I'll just walk up to their camp like I own the place.
We don't want your kind here.
Oh, what's your problem with my kind?
And spits on the ground. Centaurs.
How about you make me leave, and I'll draw my weapon on them.
And they'll draw theirs. And
I'll lead the dragon and the Mimeric into battle against these guys.
And the Merrimack stands and very hesitantly, like, it looks very, very wary, like it doesn't want to attack.
Well, yeah.
And
I won't like drag him along, but if a bandit for him, I'll stop them.
And he looks and he'll see one go down, and he'll go over and like kind of poke it with its stick.
That's it. And I'll encourage Astrea to use a dragon breath to melt the bandit down.
And it kind of melts a little bit, but keep in mind the thing's 2 days old, so it's not going to be as powerful as it.
No, I'm not like expecting a full dragon's breath. I'm just like teaching it a bit of excitement for battle and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, what alignment is Demetrius again?
They are bandits, okay? It's called protecting the kingdom.
Oh, I didn't say bandit. I just said random people, and they told you to leave and spit on the ground. I didn't say they were bandits.
Yeah, we did establish
nice.
we made some kind of dark pact. So
Yeah, nice discretion. I'm just gonna
Could be the
I'll go
influence of
look
that
through
arm.
the camps, see what kind of stuff they have.
It's like a picture of the note. Don't forget the note that says "Love you, Daddy."
So going through, after you guys take care of them, you start going through their things, and you find a bag of bones.
A bag of bones.
A bag of bones.
I seem a bit confused, and I toss the bones down on the ground and like try to order them, build it, see what bones they are of.
They are of a centaur.
What in the hell? I'll can I do some investigation check to see if I can puzzle together what these guys were up to?
Sure.
I'll use my inspiration on that.
So looking around, these bones are very clean, if that makes sense. Like there's no like nothing on them. You know, I don't know. Like they're very clean bones. Like there's nothing like guts or like sinew or any shit like that on it.
I'll take some time to bury those bones, and I'll perform a ceremony on it.
And the Mirmac, the Mirmac doesn't ask what you're doing, but it watches intently with like kind of like cocked eyebrow.
I'll deduct the 25 gold for the ceremony, and I'll go through the guys' pockets. And then I'll go back on the Griffin and go back to the ship.
Or simple band of archaeologists.
And but whilst we're flying up there, I'll tell Memoriak it's best if you don't tell Arcadia about this, or she'll be super pissed. So keep it between us.
And he says, "So lie to the queen?"
No, there's a difference between lying and not saying something. This is something you don't say.
That's called a lie omission.
But what if Queen Arcadia asked me what I did today?
Why would you do that? I mean, just tell her what you've been doing. You've been working on that shield. You've been on the ship, stuff like that. Don't worry too much about it. I'm sure she has no reason to interrogate you.
Oh, if Queen Arcadia asks me what I've done today, I can't lie.
Okay, sure. Tell her what you want. I don't care.
Thank you, Uncle Demetrius.
Yeah, no problem. I hope you liked it, kid. Maybe next time you can go into the city.
We would like that.
Jeez. About a few hours spent from me.
Yeah, alright. Let's pop over to Arcadia. As she's learning the way of the Stunning Fist from the monk. And he's just kind of going over the theory of it, and then would kind of show her a little bit of moves here and there.
Okay. I would say that she would pick up on it very, very unnaturally quickly.
Correct. And he even says. He'll start to tell you, when I make sure you do this the correct way, and then you do it. He's like, wow. And says, you sure you don't have any, you never done this before?
And she says, no, I've just seen it done to others. Playing the great games.
Well, honey, if you didn't, I'm sorry, if you weren't born a woman, you'd make one hell of a monk.
He says, that's okay, I'm happy being an Amazon.
Amazon, that's what you remind me of. You're a true Amazon, then.
And she says, yes, what do you mean true?
Well, there's been some people who try to, they come in the Amazon armor and said that they're Amazons, but, I can kind of just, they're not really Amazons, but I can see that you actually are. That's, damn, that's very impressive. You would chuck that bastard. He didn't tell me that he went head to head with an Amazon.
And she says, why would people pretend to be Amazons? What are they trying to get here?
Well, the queen, she was looking for Amazon warriors to kind of help out with some issues that we've been having, but everyone that actually shows up, well, they don't really last long.
What issues would that be?
There's been some banditry, but it only happens at night, and I don't know, like things disappear, and then the people we get sent out, they are found in the forest hanging upside down with all their blood drained.
Is it because their throats are slit, or does it look like something?
They have
Them?
2 puncture holes in their neck.
And they're hanging upside down.
Correct.
And why does the queen specifically want women for this job?
Well, the Amazon warriors they're renowned, and she doesn't want to send our own people, because we were going out there and trying to find these bandits, but didn't really work out well. And I'm not going because, well, I'm too old.
When you mean it didn't work out well, meaning they got killed?
They got killed.
And how long has this been going on? And what things are missing?
At least 6 months, 7 months now. There's things that are missing, like homes get broken into, some artifacts are missing, some paintings are missing. Like, and the queen doesn't really. She acts like nothing's really going on, but I think she's kind of worried. Well, from the notices that we're getting.
What do you mean by notices?
Just guards, more guards. Like she's shut down the. She's kind of shut down the palace. Like it's forbidden to enter, and there's stuff like that.
Has the queen been acting strangely lately?
She hasn't been seen, at least by myself, in 4 or 5 months now. I think she's kind of locked herself up in the palace, which I don't blame her.
Fucking called it. Fucking called it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I called it.
No, you said the queen was going to ask you guys to help out.
There's always some shit going on. Always.
Not necessarily. That's just some issues at this. I mean, it's not a perfect city.
If I were to want to investigate this further, is there a place I should go?
I don't want to put that on you, to be honest. You and your lot seem very nice, and me and Chuck, we would hate for something like that to happen to such a fine group of people.
But if we were to do something like that, is there a place we should go? People we should ask to know more about this?
I mean, if I was somebody, and I'm not telling you this, but if I was to go out and investigate, now remember, I'm not telling you to do this, but if I were to do it, I would follow the road northeast until you come upon the forest, and then once you get about halfway through the forest, take a right, and you should come upon some burrows. But I'm not telling you to do that or anything.
Okay, follow the road northeast, go halfway through the forest, and take a right to some roads.
But of course, I'm not telling you any of this. I wouldn't want to put it on you. You seem like such a lovely person, even though you're friends with the centaur. But you seem like such a lovely person, and I know Chuck just adores Corbin.
Well, she says, I'm friends with no one, but I will talk with the others and see what we decide. But in the meantime, I would like to explore some of the city. Are there places where women are forbidden?
In here, not really. Like the Temple of Tranquility, it's kind of a male only thing. The Temple of the Shadow, they kind of frown upon women, but you're allowed. You just need to wear covering, a head covering, a headscarf, if you will. But other than that, no, you're free to go wherever.
Okay. Well, then she. Let's see what I have. She thanks him for his time and offers him 10 platinum pieces.
He will refuse. I don't need your money, honey. That is yours. I'm just happy to. I'm just happy that Chuck's friend actually showed up because he's he needs more friends, if you will.
Well, Corbin is loyal, and so he has a good friend in Corbin.
Good. Not too good, I hope. Not too good of a friend, I hope, in Gizhioin.
And she kind of frowns and nods and takes her leave.
All right.
And I'll tell you, we don't have to. We can go to the next person. But what she's going to do is she's going to go and look for the seedy area of town and look for a thieves' camp and see if she can track down Kit.
Aha! Well, I was wondering if you were going to do that or not.
Oh yeah, she remembers. But she wanted to learn this first.
Yes, she does find the seedy part of town. She does find some thieves' camps, and she finds an etching of a little bird, and then we will go over to Corbin, because I believe Corbin wanted to go buy some stuff.
Yep. So we left and went to the shield icon place to buy some armor.
Yes.
I'm looking for medium breastplate armor, the best they have.
All right. They have some Mariner's breastplates. Gives you a swim speed, and if you start your turn in the water with 0 HP, it will make you rise 60 feet up.
Cool.
All
And
right.
I would like to purchase it.
All right. We will do bam, and we'll do where's it? There.
I'll look over at Chuck. That much of a markup?
And he looks, hey, you're an outsider.
Just don't call me a centaur.
No, never.
So I'll give him the money.
All right, if you want to just hit that arrow going over next to the item, and then hit the buy button. There it is. And he looks at Gravik, and I'm assuming you would like something too?
Not at this time, but answer me a question. Is any of my plays currently being shown in this city?
And you are...
I'm Gravik Thorn.
Oh. Well, we've heard about you.
But what do you mean by that?
Yeah, there's a play going on in town.
I see. Okay. Can you tell me where it's located?
Well, there'll be a showing tonight, and it's up by the gallery of the paintings.
Okay.
Next to the Ramsgate.
Okay, I guess I'll head over there. Corbin, if you're looking for me, I'll be wherever that play is being currently shown.
The play is the thing. Go talk to Laertes about that.
And he's like, I really enjoy how you portray the centaur.
We dealt with that. Okay. Thanks.
And keep in mind, you thought you dealt with that, but remember, they're in a whole different city.
Yeah. So Gravik will bid him good day and start heading towards the amphitheater, or whatever it is.
Okay. So when you get here, this gallery is a square-shaped building in the northern end of the city with a distinctive dome-shaped tower that overlooks the east side of the river, affording spectacular views from the third floor open-air gallery. Inside is cool and quiet as people are still getting set up for tonight's events. You see people speaking in hushed, reverent tones, and there's a bunch of different collections of paintings.
Okay. Gravik will go and try and find the producer of the play,
Okay.
hoping it's not a monkey.
So as you're going through, as you're walking around looking for the producer, you see that there is a bunch of guards kind of around a painting, and it's a painting of a man. He looks very imposing and is next to a wolf.
Gravik will pause to inspect the painting.
And as you get closer, they back off, jack off.
I just wanted to admire the painting. I'm not going to touch it.
You can admire it from 6 feet away.
He'll take like one step back. Is this good?
That is good.
Okay, so what? Enlighten me. What is this painting representing, or what's it of?
This is of the first Eurasian king, Carpathos, the Wolf Lord.
I see. Any reason it's set up here in the open? Why, if you need to protect it so readily, why don't you have it locked away in a museum?
And the guards look around. Do you need a helmet or something?
Probably, but so I assume this is some kind of open museum.
And they one of the guards gives you a golf clap.
I see. So you constantly have guards here, 24/7.
Of course.
I see. Why not just protect it with magic?
And they just look at you.
I take it you're not. The people here aren't exactly magically inclined.
And they just look at you again.
I see.
And where are you from?
I'm from a very far away land where we probably would have cast a number of spells to protect this instead of having guards.
Well, somebody in Mirtros is trying to buy it, so this is more for them.
I see. Do you know who's trying to buy it?
I do.
And what's his or her name?
And why would I give that to somebody from a strange, faraway land?
Oh well, what's the harm in telling me, and what could it possibly do?
They just look at you.
I see. Well, it was a pleasure having this conversation with you. Could you tell me where I could find the producer of the play that is going to be showing later tonight?
Oh, and then they look and they kind of smile and, yeah, Pelgon's around the corner, back in the back.
Thank you, I appreciate that. He'll nod to them and start heading in that direction.
And as you walk away, you hear them say, one of them say, "I'm seeing it for the first time tonight. I can't wait. I'm so excited." And the other guy says, "I know, it's so good."
So he'll look around for like probably the most well-dressed person, since it's gonna be a producer, and they probably are gonna be like showboating.
Of course.
Yeah. So he'll keep an eye out for like the most flamboyant-looking person among the group.
And you hear coming, "Oh my God! I said tepid. I didn't say hot. I didn't say cold. I said tepid. Can't you guys do anything right around here? You people, I'm gonna fire all of you. Jesus Christ, this fucking city."
That sounds about right. Gravik will walk over to
them. You hear some heels clicking. Somebody's stomping away.
Excuse me. Would you
And-
happen to be the producer of the play that we'll be showing later tonight?
And this guy flips around. Does it look like I'm a producer? Of course it looks like I'm a producer. What do you want?
I was just curious about how well it was doing.
It's fine. It's doing good. It's making money just like it should. What do you want?
Oh, that's great to hear then. In that case, I'd like to collect my part of the profits.
And you are?
I'm the writer.
Right. And you hear some people laughing in the background.
You just gotta looks over his shoulder like, what the?
You a writer. You're too cute to be a writer.
I thank you. But no, I'm actually Gravik Thorn. I penned this play.
Gravik Thorn's here. Gravik Thorn's in this fucking city. No one told me. You guys are all fired. Get the hell out of here. Wait, no, not you. You stay.
No, no one has to be fired. I just got into town just a short time ago. No one actually knew I'm here. But yes, I'm here to actually collect the profits, and so we can better produce this play.
Well, do you happen to have some idea on you? Because for all I know, you say you're Gravik Thorn, but you might not be Gravik Thorn. You could be somebody in disguise.
ID? No, not particularly, but I'm sure, don't I... how could I prove it to you that I am who I say I am?
You're the writer, not me.
Okay, perhaps I... So...
And at this moment, you hear some people walking, and then a loud crash from behind you.
He'll turn and see what the crash was.
And it was two females fainting and dropping a tray of food.
Are they okay?
Well, they're gonna be okay because now they're fired.
No, they're not fired. They might have a medical condition. He's gonna walk over and kind of lead over one of them. Ma'am?
It's Gravik.
Right, oh, yes, that's correct. But, are you okay? Did you hit your head?
I'm fine. And you see her turning. You see her turning beet red.
Let's get both of you up off the ground, and he's gonna help them back to their feet.
And they're very slow to let go of your arm.
He's gonna gently pull his arm away, but forcefully. So, do you need to see a doctor or a healer? Did you injure yourselves?
Oh, we're fine.
Great. That's great. What were they carrying when they fainted?
A tray of food and sandwiches and some chips.
He'll bend down and start cleaning it up, putting all the spoiled food back on the platters. I take it you're with catering?
Uh-huh.
Well, I suppose this must have been a hard day. Is that why you fainted? Too hot and on your feet for too long?
Or the fact that you are in Arisha?
That doesn't seem likely, but as he gets all the food, he's gonna hand the plates back to them. But, no, we should probably be more careful. Go sit down and drink some water.
Okay.
And he'll walk back to the producer. So, what can I actually do to prove to you that I am who I say I am?
How many fingers am I holding up behind my back?
What? How is that going to prove?
Well, Gravik Thorn's a mighty wizard, so he should know these things.
Okay, hold on a second, and he'll sigh and he'll cast Arcane Eye and have it slip behind his back, and then he'll tell him how many fingers he has up.
So he's holding up 4.
He says 4,
Then he's holding up 2.
2,
And he's holding up 5.
5.
Fuck! You really are Gravik. Wow.
Yes, and as I was saying, I'm here to collect the profits from this play.
Of course. I mean, I don't keep him here. That's a lot of money. We're not stupid.
No, it's whatever is surplus will be fine. Of course, you need to keep the profits to keep your show running.
Yeah. Well, we only have about 10 right now. On
10
hand.
what?
10.
10 gold?
And he gives you the look. 10,000.
That's fine. I'll take 10,000 for now. But that won't damage your play any. You still have enough to continue the show, correct?
We do.
Okay, I'll take the 10,000 now, and I will thank you. Perhaps we should write a receipt up so that you know that you how much I had taken from you.
Yes, please.
Okay, and he'll do all that. Get the receipt and make sure that it's all legal and legit. And well, thank you. I'm probably back in a few months to collect more profits. I appreciate this, and now you know who I look like.
This is the way.
This is the way, indeed. So, I appreciate your time, and I'll be back later this evening to watch the show. I actually want to see what your take on it is.
Of course, we follow the script exactly.
By the way, you haven't got any notes from the original play, have you, where we kind of altered Demetrius's character a little bit?
Do you want him to look worse than he already does? And this guy looks like Evil Grin.
No, it's just, perhaps I exaggerated a little when I wrote him as a eunuch. So,
He's not a
maybe
eunuch?
perhaps just give him a normal-sized palace.
And he says, a normal-sized palace. Got it, and gives you a wink.
Gravik is not going to push that, but he's just like, oh, God. Demetrius won't see this. He's not coming to the city. And he'll nod his head and walk away with the money in tow.
And as you're walking away, he snaps, all right, you two, get back to work or you're fired.
No, stop firing people indiscriminately. They need a moment to rest.
They're fine. Now go away. This is my show now.
Okay. And he'll walk away, just feeling very uneasy about leaving the play in the hands of this person.
And you can add the money to yourself.
Okay. So he's going to put most of that into his bag of holding so he's not completely weighed down by it.
Alright.
So he's going to start heading back to the Ultros to split up the money.
Cool. Let's head over to Acadia.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm sorry, not Arcadia. Let's go back to Nico. We haven't done Nico in a little bit. Were you doing hanging out other than hanging out in the bar? Or were you wanting to do anything else, Nico?
I forgot the Minotaur's name. Tauros?
Tauros.
Yeah. Tauros. I was going to ask him if there's any jobs around that need doing. Small jobs.
He says for a dockmaster?
Not really a dockmaster, for someone for adventuring.
For adventuring? I personally don't know of anything. kind of scratches his head. He kind of shrugs and I got nothing. I personally don't know.
Right. This seems like a safe city then. Wait,
Yeah, it's
except for the
not.
dogs.
It's not too bad. The dogs kind of get a little rowdy from time to time, but we have fun. I mean, it's not a perfect city, of course, but it's not bad. I'm sure it's way better than Mirtros.
Mythos has its problems, but we have a good queen, and she takes care of the city for the most part with law and order. I see the law and order is pretty good around here too.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And people start getting out of hand. Well, we have guards for that. But for the most part, everyone knows their place.
Well, he's just gonna continue having some drinks and enjoying the Red Lotus. Nico's gonna definitely buy a couple kegs to go and have them shipped to the Ultros.
Fair enough. And the dwarven lady says, "You don't want to ship anything else there, do you?" And she kind of gives you a wink.
Nico blushes. Just a ale, please, and some of your wine. Maybe a case of wine.
Okay. Well, when it runs out, please come back. We'd love to see you somewhere. I mean, love your business some more.
Yes, I love staying here in the Red Lotus, having a good time. Yes.
All right.
I guess Nico will go find his friends.
It sounds good. So you're shipping this stuff back, finding your friends. Cool. Let's jump over to Arcadia as she's in the marketplace looking for the seedy part of town.
Right. She's looking for Thieves' Cant and looks for Kit and Darius.
Yep. So looking for the Thieves' Cant, you find Thieves' Cant, and you also find a little bird. And then going down this like kind of seedy alley, you see a rickety sign. It has a bird on it and nothing else.
Okay. And she'll go towards it. What is by the door? Is it a door?
It is a door.
She will. Is it open?
It is.
And she'll walk in.
And as a bell rings, you hear someone calling out from the back, "I'll be right with you." And you kind of come in here, and it's like a little apothecary.
Nice. She looks around. So like antitoxin and potions of healing and other kinds of potions. Are there any magical potions or probably poison? I'm guessing.
There's a bunch of different potions here. Some you have seen, others you have not. And as you look around, you hear a familiar voice coming up. "Sorry about that. It's been a..." And then she stops and... "Arcadia?"
And she says, "Kit." Just give her a hug.
"You found your way here? Oh, finally."
Yes, it's been a while.
"You've grown."
She says, how have you been?
"Oh, been good. Business is, we set up shop. Business isn't too bad. But you've grown. You're skinny." And she kind of pokes your stomach.
Oh, been busy.
"I see."
So you've settled in here nicely. Are you going to stay here?
Possibly. It's It's not a bad little city. It's nowhere near as busy as Mutros was, and it's kind of how we like it. Just maybe a little smaller town living.
And she says, right before I told you that Mitras might be under attack, my companion Corbin had ordered a rope of climbing from you. Would you happen to have that?
And she kind of looked around a little embarrassed and, no. And she's like, he never got it.
Well, it wasn't his fault. It's because you had to leave.
Yeah. Well, no, like, Darius never made it. Because we left and he's like, well, they're never going to come to Aresia, so he kind of just kept the money, and I'm a little embarrassed to talk about it.
Well, would you happen to have it so I could at least return it to him?
And
I don't think Arcadia understands very well.
She has a store there. I mean, I don't know. She's asking. It's nothing hurt to ask.
and she's
Store credit.
and she's like, well, I can give you 20 gold.
Paid like 400 gold for that.
I know.
No, it's 200.
It was, yeah, I think it was like 200. Yeah, it was like double.
She says, well, is there something else that might be he could use? Like maybe a potion?
Maybe he doesn't know that we had this conversation.
All right.
Corbin feels his ears burning in the shop far away.
He says, well, I do owe you one. I'll make it up to him. And he says, so tell me, what, is there any potions you have here that might be good for me?
Well, we have some healing. Are you still practicing your roguish abilities?
I am.
We also have vials of poison if you're looking to poison someone.
Yeah. And she said, no, I haven't needed to do that.
She frowns a little bit. I understand. It's not for everyone.
Well, she said, so you don't have any, I don't know. I don't know very much about potions, so I didn't know if there'd be anything helpful.
And
But I'd like to support you.
And is there like anything in particular?
I don't know. Maybe a potion of heroism or invulnerability or anything like that.
I'm just we're just little little shop owners. We have we do have one heroism.
And how much is that?
For you, 2,000.
Wow. Because, I haven't changed much from where I was before, but, what do you have for potions of healing? I can at least support you there.
We have regular and greater, and I think we have one supreme.
Alright, she's gonna look and see what she has. She says, how much are your greater healings?
Our greater, 150.
And, she
says, graders are 150. She says, I'll go ahead and take 2 of them.
Okay, and she'll grab them up.
Okay, so I'm going to add 2 greater healing to my inventory.
Yep, and subtract 300.
And I'll subtract 30 platinum pieces.
Okay. Wait, no, platinum pieces. Oh, you said how many platinum pieces?
30.
Okay, I thought you said 3. I was like,
And then she asks her, she says, I heard stories of some bandits that are plaguing the town and that the queen was looking for Amazons. Have you heard anything about that?
And she looks around and, tell me, little bird, what do you know about vampires?
She says that there's someone in our party that seems to know a lot about them and something about them drinking people's blood.
They do. Well, supposedly, a den of them has made their home in the northeastern regions of the peninsula.
Do you know their vulnerabilities? How can they be killed? What are they?
They're undead filth.
How do you kill something that's already dead?
The only thing that I know of is a stake through the hearts, but that's only when they are weakened, and to weaken them I do not know.
Do you know anybody who knows more about these creatures?
Unfortunately, no.
We probably know somebody.
Yeah. And she thanks her. And she says, do you need anything? Can I get you anything? And where's Darius? And she says, I saw him on an island with the turtle.
Yeah, he's out. Well, he said he had to go. He had to see a man about a horse, and that was 2 months ago.
2 months?
Yeah.
He had to see a man about a horse. What, to buy a horse?
Yes. Well, that's what he said.
Do you know who the man was?
No, it was up in the peninsulas.
Where the vampires are?
No, south.
Oh, south. He went south to the peninsulas?
No, he went. Yeah, he's on the peninsula that you're on, but he went south. If you look at this,
Okay.
you see where you guys are.
Yeah.
She just said south.
Oh, wow. Way down there?
Well, she just said south. She just specific.
South, right, but that way. Okay. And the vampires are somewhere
Northeast.
northeast. Okay. So, right, because that guy said to go look for a forest, and midway there's a road. So it's somewhere-ish there.
Somewhere-ish.
Okay.
But if you kind of look out now and zoom out, the peninsula is quite large.
Yeah. And she just says, I'm so sorry, Kit. Has anybody tried to find him?
No, I mean, he'll turn up. He has to turn up. He has to turn up, and that's it. He has to turn up, and she looks a little sad. But tell me, how is your quest going?
It's complicated. There seems to be. It's hard to understand. It's nearly impossible for
someone not directly involved to understand, let alone the people who are involved, because I can barely understand it. But it seems like there might be two worlds in parallel to each other, and I don't know. Tell me, is the goddess Lutheria, is she around here? Is she dead, or is she? Do you know if she still exists in this land?
And
I know the people here
She
worship
spits.
Narcissus.
She spits in the ground. I hope that bitch dies soon.
So she's still alive.
As far as I know, unless some great heroes of the Oracle went to kill her.
Well, as far as I know, we did kill her, but I'm
Did you
not
really?
taking anything at face value. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Do you see any other gods here besides Narcissus, or is he pretty much the ruling god here?
The Mirtrosians don't barely come here. Sometimes they do, but not really. So, as far as the other gods, no, they don't come here.
Does Narcissus walk amongst the people like the five?
No, I've never seen him, to be honest. He's hungry. Yeah, he's. Oh, could you hear him
I've
eating?
heard that the king hasn't been seen in about 4 or 5 months.
That is correct. I personally have never seen her either. He's a big boy. Happy.
And that she was put out a call for Amazons to help hunt the vampires?
I've heard that, yes. But I don't exactly fit into the queen's circle, if you will. Hey, Ralph, you want to come up?
I understand.
Oh, come on. Can you say hi? Hi.
Any place in the city you suggest I go visit that I would find interesting?
Well, the Temple of Shadow is pretty cool, but if you go, you need to wear a headscarf, if you will. That's a pretty cool place.
Does this okay? She has a traveler's cloak with the hood on it.
You must cover your hair.
Well, the hood would cover her, or it means like it has to be tied back or something.
It has,
tighter than that.
Yeah. What's that word? Like a hijab.
All right.
Yeah, something like that. Hey.
Okay, and then what else was she saying?
And then she says, maybe the Temple of Elements, the gymnasium's pretty cool, especially if you're, training still. That's a pretty cool place. If you want to look for beauty, the Hanging Gardens or the Painting Gallery, that's pretty cool too. Ruffy.
Okay. She looks at her and takes her hands and says, "Do you need anything?"
No, I'm quite alright. And she looks like she's about to cry, but she holds it back. Ralph. Hey, Ralph.
And she says, "I will check on you."
Thank you. And if you happen to find Darius again, can you tell him to come home?
And she says, "I will." And she will give her a hug.
And you notice, I think for the first time, as you go to hug her again, you can tell she has a bit of a belly.
Okay.
Like she's a little preggo.
Yeah.
To clarify.
Yes. No, she's. She says, "You were expecting."
I am.
When is it due? When does the baby due?
To be true. Maybe 5 months from now.
Oh, congratulations.
Ooh, that sounds good, actually. Well, thank you. Hopefully, Well, thank you. Hopefully, the baby's father will be here by the time they're born. Actually, sounds good, churros. Or churro. Talk about churro. Oh, no. You're talking about the lady.
I'll check on you again. And she leaves.
Alright. Did she want to do anything else?
Well, she can't help herself. She'd probably go to the gymnasium first to check it out.
Alright. So the gym. So the gymnasium is a massive, imposing structure that stands several stories high. From within can be heard the echoes of warriors hard at work, heavy grunting, clangs of dull weapons, and energetic shouts as they move through various demonstrations.
Alright, does she see anything interesting that she can learn from?
Let's see here. Let's find. Oops. You see a sign. It says that there is a tournament every week on the 7th day. They're just doing training, some armed combat. There's some boxers here. People are wrestling. Corbin's wrestling is much better. There's some people throwing shot puts. That's about it.
Is it mostly men, or are there any women?
There's mostly men.
Well, she'd take a quick look and see if she notices anything that she could learn from, but otherwise, then she'd probably just leave.
Okay. And you also see that these stands can fill like probably 3,000, 4,000 people. Like it's kind of like the Coliseum in a way, like the way it's set up.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's immense.
Yeah.
Do you see any archers?
She does.
Man, how are they doing?
Worse than Atalanta.
Well, but Atalanta is really good, so.
Correct. And you've learned from Atalanta. They're not bad. Like they're not. You probably think you could probably shoot better than them.
All right. Well, then she's going to leave from there. Well, I don't want to hog this, and I know we're getting into time. Otherwise, she'd continue exploring.
Okay. Let's see. Nico's finding the drink people, Gravix finding people. Corbin, was Corbin doing anything else?
Are we all getting back together? Because at some point I'm going to ask Chuck about the fake monks we ran into.
Yeah, so right now it's just you and Chuck. I think
I'll probably wait till we get back together to ask that.
Okay. Were you gonna wait for take Demetrius also, or take Chuck down to the Ultros or anything, or no?
Sure, might as well take Chuck and show him the Ultros.
Okay.
Meet everybody back there.
Yeah. So we see. And then Nico was talking and drinking. Gravix going back. Gravix said he's going back to the Ultros. Demetrius is at the Ultros.
Once it starts getting in the evening, Nico will head back to the Ultros.
Nico will stumble back to the Ultros.
Dragging his heavy casks.
Oh no,
a wheelbarrow.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I think why don't we call it? We pick back up next with Arcadia. I'm assuming she's probably going to search a few more things. Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, she's going to make sure she can get a headdress and go to that Temple of Shadows.
Okay, so we'll start with... Actually, hang on. Maybe we can go a little bit more.
I can go because I'm now an hour earlier.
I'm just
go for a
looking.
bit more as well.
I'm just looking just to bring her up to speed back. Actually, yeah. So, Arcadia, you come up to this temple. Black Temple is located south of the palace on a hill overlooking the city. The building is deadly quiet and unsettlingly still. Yeah.
Do I have? I guess I should probably. Should we just say I stopped by somewhere to get some sort of a head scarf and just tell me how much it costs and I'll pick it out?
Yeah, it's say 2 pence or 2 silver.
Okay. Let's see. A gold is 10 silver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she gets a head covering and she'll. Actually, it says it's deathly quiet. She's going to try to be as quiet as possible walking in there then.
Okay. Give us a. Are you going to try and stealth in or just be quiet?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Okay. Nice. So as you walk in, this place it's eerily quiet even as you come in, and you don't really see or hear anyone.
What do I see? And could you post the description?
I cannot.
Oh, okay.
So coming in here,
to-
yes. So coming in here, yeah, it's from the inside. It looks just like a normal temple. It's like there's like no one in here, but it has like a mat. You've been to a dojo, right? So like that mat, that kind of mat.
Oh, interesting. Like a tatami?
Yeah, and then there's yeah. Go ahead.
A tatami mat looking like it's just a regular one to walk on or the one to practice on?
Practice on.
Okay. Well, she's not going to stand on it.
Right.
She's going to, Okay.
And then there's there's an upper level like people can observe from, and obviously the lower level, and there's a bunch of closed doors, and then there's a bunch of like braziers where you can light shit up, have fires in for light, but it's still daytime, so you don't need them.
Is there kind of an altar or anything, or?
No.
It's so creepy. You hear the footsteps in the background walking down the hallway on the Sirenscape.
Uh-huh.
Does she feel like she's being watched?
Give me a perception. You are unsure.
Does it look like there are places where she can walk that's not her going into, forbidden areas? And she is sensitive that this is a temple.
Yes, she can.
Okay, but she's going to continue walking very quietly in the hopes that if someone is watching them, she will prove worthy of some sort of contact.
Okay.
Do you want another stealth?
Yes. All right. So you're just walking around this place. It's not very large. So like you easily do a circle around it. And other than the closed doors, the tatami mat, and all that stuff I just mentioned, that's about it that you see.
And the door, they just closed the doors.
Correct.
She's not the type of person to go sneaking around. She'll walk upstairs. And again, that's just an observation deck.
Yes.
Okay, she goes back down.
Okay.
And she is going to go to the edge of the mat and just kneel, like in Seiza. Do you know that term?
Yeah, yeah.
She kneels in Seiza and just sits there.
And
For a
how
little
how
while.
how long are you gonna sit there?
She will actually practice her meditation, which involves being incredibly still and not moving and
Okay.
controlling her breath. And she's been practicing that now for a while in the Ultros. So she will do that for half an hour.
Okay. Give me a perception check. So at the end of your half hour, you hear a voice from behind you, and it says, "You breathe so loudly, I could have shot you in the dark."
And she bows to the mat before standing up and says, "Well, then I need more instruction."
And do you turn?
Yes.
And before you see a person looks like this.
Whoa.
And as you see them, you kind of look up at the observation deck, and you see about 20 people, all in, like, they don't have the mask on, but they all have the black hoods on covering their faces. And I think that's where we'll pick up next week.
Wow. Did you share this image with the other people? With the
I
other
did.
party?
I did.
The kitty has split the party. She's gonna die.
That's okay. The vampires will get everybody else.
Gravik will,
It's just Gravik's relatives.
Gravik will rise to the top of them and be the leader.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell Gravik about this. She's like, oh, she's got to get back and tell people.
Garlic. Corbin can prepare his special garlic meals for them.
And then finally be a paladin when fighting a vampire.
Exactly.
Yeah, turn undead, baby.
No, I don't
Yeah,
do
it was
that.
so fun.
But,
Well, you're not
If you
that
cast
really
Turn
paladin.
Undead, will that make Gravik run away?
Poor
You're not
Gravik.
that type of paladin.
He's not that type of paladin, exactly.
It also
I thought that
depends
was-
on what level of vampire they are. They might just laugh at your turn undead.
You'll be like, oh,
They're not
that's
gonna laugh
cute.
at Divine Smite.
They're like, oh, that's cute. No, they'll say, oh, is it in yet?
Oh my.
I have in my other game, I have an elf guy who hates goblins, so of course I give him goblins to fight. And last night he missed horribly, and the goblins like, is it in yet? Is it in yet? Is it in yet? Kept pissing him off.
Yeah, then you stole my move from when I played my warlock.
With the telepathy, of course.
Yeah.
See, I pick things up for the players too. But yeah, yeah. It'll be kind of sussy to see what happens next week.
I love how you spoke like a true grandmaster when the Minotaur's like, I'm the master of the way of the elements, but nothing special. Like,
Exactly.
No, nothing special. I'm just,
Nothing
I
special.
got this really cool job.
Not special. I'm just gonna sit here and drink all day. You know,
Hey,
he's earned it.
seemed like he was a good guy to hang out with and have some beers.
Hell yeah.
Corbin's happy. He ran out and got his tattoo before Demetrius could spoil the town for him.
Demetrius has literally done nothing.
Oh, really?
Still
That
getting
kills
shit
some
done.
people on the main
Says,
random people.
yeah, stealing the
and
centaur
taught
bones.
The bug how to kill indiscriminately.
Kill and lie.
Well, it's not indiscriminate.
Yeah, but now-
Discriminating.
I'm
You first antagonize strangers by telling them to get them mad, and then you make yourself an
Well,
and kill them.
I mean, they forced my hand.
I'll just be
You
interested.
forced your hand
Oh, my
because
God.
you showed up and insulted them.
I'll just be interested if Arcadia asked the bug what they did all day, and if the bug will actually tell her or not.
But now Gravik needs to go back to the Ultros and have a moral conversation with Aziz to see if he should split his earnings.
You know, Aziz is greedy a bitch, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember that last time that Amitri sold all of his personal items and he shared it with Bradley?
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
he
what Gravik's doing.
he needs to have a
Gravik
conversation.
doing that.
Yeah, Gravik needs to talk with Aziz to see if it's the morally right thing to do.
I mean, Zeus is with you.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's part
right.
of the oath.
It's the morally thing. He'd be like, hell no, give it all to me.
You know, that doesn't sound right, but okay.
And Aziz will like hoard it and like fight off anyone who tries to get it. Like, this is mine now.
Suddenly Aziz's pile of loot is 10,000 coins bigger.
Yeah. Oh, I just found it, you know. Yeah. Cool. I think we're done. We should be good for next week.
Oh yeah. Let's see you guys next week.
Wow. Wow. And what? Just in a whole week. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You act like
2
we.
weeks in a row. I don't know what to do.
You act like this has never this has happened all the time. You're funny. We'll just
Looking for
we
something
just had a little-
Greek-inspired to watch, you should try Blood of Zeus on Netflix.
Blood of Zeus. I'll try it out. But yeah, come like June and some of July, I won't be here. And then September, I'll be gone. I'm going to Egypt, so I'll be gone.
Wow. Well, then Dan is going to what? He's going to Africa for October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be in Africa too, but you know.
Might have to put the game on hiatus for a little while.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to be playing when I'm gone, especially since Dan won't be here. And by the time that happens, I will probably be somewhere that you're going to need everybody.
Yeah. This is what, September, October?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm going to be very busy learning something like that.
Oh really? I wonder what that is. Oh, speaking. Well, I'm not. I'll message you that. But they announced a new Lego series coming out in October. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Anyways, cool. We are done. Yeah, cool. All right, Stu. We're done for the
See you
day.
guys next week.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back next week, and it's gonna be good times. Hope everyone has a good week, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.